when this thief tried to break into a house. He had no idea he was messing with a war veteran. Yep, today you're gonna see a bunch of burglars who picked the wrong house to rob. Pay close attention to the details in this break-in. These two guys thought they had it all figured out, but someone inside the house was wide awake. They had to bolt out of there fast. At this house, the thief tried to distract the dog while sneaking around and stealing a bunch of stuff. But things took a sharp turn when the dog's owner showed up. Check it out. The clumsy intruder had to think fast and get out before he ended up getting bitten. This camera caught two guys trying to steal a car parked right in front of this house. But when the alarm went off, the car owner came out ready to shut things down. Think they learned their lesson about messing with other people's stuff. This guy probably thought breaking into this house would be a piece of cake, especially since the owner was a woman. But yeah, things didn't go his way. He quickly realized he made a huge mistake. Look how happy this thief is while stuffing his backpack with valuables, but of course, he picked the wrong house to rob. Watch what happens next. He definitely wasn't ready for that, and neither were we. When this man left his house to break into someone else's, I'm pretty sure he didn't expect this. Just imagine having a gun pointed at your face, and knowing you're the one completely in the wrong. After a few tense seconds of talking, luckily it didn't turn into something worse. This scene could have easily been straight out of a comedy movie, but make no mistake, it was actually pretty serious. Watch what happens next. The chase spills outside the gate and only ends when a police officer shows up. Now check out what happened when these three guys tried to break into a house in Chicago. They faced some resistance at first, but what came next? Yeah, they definitely weren't ready for that kind of obstacle. Then there's this guy who thought pulling off a broad daylight robbery would be a walk in the park. What he didn't know was that the homeowner was watching everything, and yeah, he wasn't about to let it slide. These suspects had no clue they were being filmed, and the end of this video is just wild. Watch what happens when they try to get into this house. The intruders were met with gunfire from the owner, and something tells me they'll think twice before trying that again. This thief thought it'd be just another night of easy break-ins around the neighborhood. What he didn't expect, the homeowner was a war veteran. Things went downhill fast for the thief, who had to dodge several rifle shots to escape. No one got hurt in the shootout, but the bullet holes? They're everywhere. Safe to say, no one's messing with that house again anytime soon. This criminal actually managed to get inside the victim's home, but what he didn't count on was that the woman, who seemed defenseless, had a loyal sidekick by her side, and that little hero saved her from something way worse. This guy didn't just have a pet, he had a real protector. When someone tried to break into his house, the dog stepped up big time, scaring the intruder off with pure bravery. Now check out this next scene. The man wasn't even the homeowner, he was just checking on his neighbor's place when he spotted a break-in happening. Good thing he acted fast and helped get the thief caught. Watch how this guy thought everything was clear and he had the perfect opportunity, but nope, he was wrong and didn't even have time to react. A lot of burglars aren't exactly criminal masterminds. This one managed to get into someone's property, but totally fumbled when trying to steal a motorcycle. And to make things worse, just wait to see what happens a few seconds later. This thief thought he was being slick, but little did he know someone was watching the whole time, and yeah, it didn't end well for him. Here we've got another package thief. The guy grabbed someone else's delivery and just walked off like it was nothing. But of course, he was being recorded the whole time. The result, he got caught and had to give the package back. Remember that movie, Home Alone? Well, this thief was just as clumsy as the bad guys who went up against Macaulay Culkin. After what happened, you can bet he gave up on his little plan real quick. Yet another person got caught stealing something right from someone's doorstep, but this time, she ran into the actual owner of the item. You've got to see how that one ends.
I don't have them.
I saw you on my ring,
Okay,
on my porch.
No.
This armed robbery went completely off the rails because some good people happened to be in the right place at the right time. One of the criminals got a serious beatdown and probably won't be trying that again anytime soon. Can't deny it, this home security system worked like a charm. The burglars didn't even think twice. They turned around and gave up on the spot. These two guys had no clue what they were about to walk into. When they tried to break into the house, the owner greeted them in the least friendly way possible. They had no choice but to run for it. Now check out how this intruder went about breaking into the front door. Looked like he knew what he was doing, but he ran into some trouble finishing the job, and then something went wrong. He bolted. This thief didn't have an easy time trying to get away after a night of crimes. Just his luck, a police car happened to be driving by and shut down his whole plan. With the help of a K9 unit, the guy was arrested and won't be sneaking around any homes for a long while. These robbers were trying to steal a car parked in someone's yard, but a seriously brave man stepped in to stop them. What happened next was totally unexpected. Watch the full clip and prepare to be surprised. Safe to say, this robbery didn't go as planned. Just look, the getaway driver panicked and left the female thief behind. She got caught within seconds. Check out what happens here. These thieves thought no one was home and started grabbing everything they could find, but then the homeowner showed up and things got wild. You've got to see how this chaotic scene plays out. Rule number 1, always check for backyard cameras. This guy didn't, and let's just say he got the scare of his life. An elderly man was being approached at his front gate by a group of armed criminals, but little did they know, someone inside the house was watching it all go down, and that person didn't hesitate to bring out their most powerful weapons. Things didn't end well for the thieves. This homeowner had enough of having his delivery stolen, so he decided to set a trap, and judging by how things turned out, it worked like a charm. In this next clip, the homeowner kept his cool and decided to make a move to stop a package thief right in his tracks. Watch how this thief had to make a run for it across the roof to get away from two dogs that were ready to do whatever it took to protect the house. In the end, check out the clever escape plan he came up with. This guy wasn't exactly subtle when he tried to break into a house, but I bet he didn't expect that kind of reaction from the homeowner. When this man spotted someone on his roof, he didn't think twice, grabbed a knife and got ready to defend his home. Even wearing nothing but a pair of swim trunks, he managed to scare the intruder off. Unfortunately, we don't know how the story ended. Now imagine the shock these two guys felt when they got close to this house. They had no idea the security system would be that loud and that effective. This guy in blue took a big risk and charged straight at the thief who had broken into his house. But look closely, the criminal had a weapon. Even so, they fought, and the man managed to scare him off, while his girlfriend ran to get help. Now check out how this thief thought he had the perfect plan all figured out, but he forgot one crucial thing: the police. Watch how these three burglars were a complete mess trying to break into this house. Things didn't exactly go according to plan, and it nearly turned into a major disaster. These two dogs totally saved the day, teaming up to stop something much worse from happening. Now try to guess what happened here. This guy thought he was being clever, but little did he know, everything was caught on camera. Watch how these intruders put in some serious effort to break down this door, but once they finally got in, they definitely weren't ready for the homeowner's response. He sent them all running. Look how badly this thief failed when he tried to jump over an iron fence. He ended up in a pretty awkward situation, and honestly, it could have been way worse. This guy clearly wasn't very experienced when he tried to break into this house. Just watch how things unfold. Not only did he fail miserably, but the homeowner gave him a rough time too. Let's just say this thief was bold, but also totally clueless. In broad daylight, he broke into a house trying to snatch whatever he could. But hey, if he's in this video, you know something went wrong. Check out how it all ends. You won't believe it. Look at this guy doing everything he could to break down the front door. He had no idea he was being recorded the whole time. Of course, the homeowner called the cops, and they showed up fast to arrest him. These two guys also got scared off by a dog, but let's be real, they may have overreacted just a little. The owner of this house came up with a pretty creative trap to scare off intruders, and it actually worked. Here's another reminder that dogs really are man's best friend. Watch how this brave pup puts himself in danger to stop the criminal until his owner shows up to take control of the situation. Check out this guy who thought he could break in just by kicking the door. Spoiler alert, he ended up running for it because someone was more than ready to respond. This man made what was probably the worst decision of his life. Just look at what happens when he tries to break into someone else's home. Here's another classic porch pirate, but this one didn't get very far. He ended up getting caught right after the theft. Here's a lesson for everyone. Never try to break into the home of someone who's just trying to finish their day in peace. This man chased the intruders off, but the way this story ends, totally wild. This is the fastest robbery you'll see today, but unlucky for this thief, the cops were just as quick. He didn't even have a chance to run. Take a look at the size of the dog sitting next to the woman on this couch. The intruder about to show up clearly had no clue that Beast was waiting inside. Now check out what these two guys did to try and steal a TV. After a whole lot of chaos, they ended up leaving empty-handed, thankfully. When some burglars tried to break into this house, one brave resident stood his ground and scared them off, but he wasn't about to let them get away that easily. On the other side of that small fence, there was a dog fully ready to protect the house, and boy did he deliver. Check out how this thief got stopped from stealing a bike by a broom. Here's another package thief. He thought he could just walk off with someone else's stuff, but he had no idea what was about to go down. Cops were called in to deal with a break-in, and what happens next is honestly incredible. This attempted robbery almost ended in disaster because the thieves had no clue the homeowner was armed to the teeth.
Here.
Let's just say this guy wasn't exactly thinking straight when he tried to break into a house, and you can probably guess why.
Disaster.
This man caught a thief red-handed, stealing stuff from his garage, and without hesitation, he sprinted after the guy. Was the gate on this house just super strong, or were these thieves total amateurs? Either way, they had to run for it, and thankfully, they never made it inside. These guys didn't even hesitate, and they walked right into someone's house like they owned the place. But what they didn't count on was a solid security system. Just watch what happens. This next guy also picked the wrong house. He had no idea the homeowner was actually inside, and then a serious fight breaks out. One thing thieves always seem to forget: check if there are any angry dogs on the property before breaking in. This homeowner wasn't about to play games. He caught the intruder in the middle of the night and showed he was way sharper than the criminal. Once again, man's best friend jumps into action to protect the home. This little dog scared off a bunch of intruders and totally earned the title of hero for the day. This man came in ready to steal something, but what happened next? You've got to see it for yourself. These two guys tried to steal a motorcycle parked in a garage, but the owner showed up and chased them off, proving he had guts, and maybe took a bit of a risk too. Now this guy seriously picked the wrong house to mess with. The homeowner didn't hold back and used his size to teach the thief a painful lesson. This intruder definitely wasn't expecting to run into dogs out for revenge. Take a look at this one. The thief thought he was about to pull off one of the easiest robberies ever, but turns out he didn't really notice where he was, inside a martial arts gym. Yep, he ended up surrounded by fighters, and let's just say it didn't end well for him. Major fail. And to wrap things up, check out how fast these dogs are when it comes to chasing down an intruder. Seriously, dogs really do go all out to protect their humans, don't they?